Hello, I'm Attorney Todd Leneve. Welcome to West Virginia Gun Law. I was recently asked by a couple of people about the legality of adding a vertical foregrip to an AR platform pistol and thought that might be a good topic for a quick video here today. Stick around. So with the way the ATF seems to bounce back and forth in its opinion letters regarding any number of issues, it can sometimes be a little bit tricky to be certain what the current state of the law is. When we talk about vertical foregrips and AR platform pistols, real simple rule of thumb is this. If your pistol has a total overall length of 26 inches or more, a vertical foregrip is just fine. If your pistol is shorter than 26 inches in overall length, do not use a vertical foregrip, period. In that instance, you would need to look at one of the other approved types of devices, such as Magpul's angled foregrip, and any variety of the hand stops that are out there. And we'll show some photographs of those here in just a minute so you have a rough idea of what I'm talking about. But vertical foregrips, if you're under 26 inches, are not okay. If you're over 26 inches, they're just fine. One of the issues that can get tricky on this is that the ATF offers what I think is some confusing guidance on how to conduct the measurement of your pistol. So I've seen several opinion letters on the topic, and I'm sure that many of you have looked at these kinds of things as well in the past. But we'll talk for a minute about what that 26-inch measurement consists of and why it's so important. So initially we talk about the length of rifles and shotguns as defined under U.S. code, being at least 26 inches for a rifle, and opinion letters go on to clarify that because a stock is an integral part or a necessary part of a rifle, in order for it to function as designed, the stock would be calculated in the overall length measurement. However, a pistol brace is not a stock, and therefore the ATF does not count that pistol brace as part of the overall measurement. In fact, the ATF opinion letters that address the matter of length measurement all make it clear that if an AR-style pistol is equipped with a stabilizing brace, the brace must be either folded or completely collapsed when you make the measurement. And so where that can become interesting and where the ATF doesn't provide any clear guidance is when you consider the different types of gas systems on AR platform firearms. You can have a direct impingement system that requires the buffer tube at the end of the receiver, or you can have a piston system which eliminates the buffer tube and allows the firearm to stop at the rear of the receiver. So if you're talking about the fairly more common direct impingement style of firearm that has a buffer tube that is absolutely necessary to the function of the firearm, then the buffer tube would have to be included in the overall measurement calculation. However, the ATF opinion letters don't talk about that. They don't distinguish between direct impingement and piston type systems. They simply state, sort of as a blanket position, that the pistol brace needs to be fully collapsed or folded. Obviously, there are some devices that are available for direct impingement firearms that allow the insertion of that device, the addition between the receiver and the buffer tube, so the buffer tube can swing around and fold flat. In a situation like that, you might say, well, then yeah, you just fold it flat and have to measure it. However, with the buffer tube in that position, the firearm doesn't operate in the manner that it was intended. That buffer tube needs to be locked in place Meaning, in my opinion, you would be entitled to have the pistol brace extended on the buffer tube, but you would want it to be in its forwardmost position for the purpose of the measurement, and to the extent that it extended at all beyond the end of the buffer tube, any of that distance would not be used in calculating the length. The measurement should stop at the end of the buffer tube, starting from the end of the muzzle and any device you have on the end of the muzzle. For a piston-driven firearm, though, it's very clear that there's not a buffer tube involved, and therefore, if you do have a brace attached to the rear of the receiver, that brace has to be folded flat or collapsed all the way. And again, the brace itself cannot be used in calculating the measurement of that firearm. So the safe bet here is to say, if you have a direct impingement system, measure from the rear of the buffer tube to the end of the muzzle device. And if that length is greater than 26 inches, you can use a vertical foregrip. If that length is less than 26 inches, you may not. If you have a piston-driven gas system, then you are restricted to measure from the rear of the firearm, the rearmost point, to the end of the muzzle device. And again, remember that the brace cannot be used in that calculation. So as far as specific devices that'll work for you, if your firearm is 26 inches or over, any of these devices will be fine for you to use. But if your firearm is under 26 inches, you would be restricted to using devices such as these. I hope that provides some clarification and keeps it fairly simple for you. If you have any questions about it, certainly feel free to drop those in the comments section below, or you're welcome to reach out to me by email. My contact information is in the video description below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Would love to have you join in and be a regular part of the community. If you do subscribe, be sure to hit that bell icon so that you get notifications each time a video drops. Hit the like, share this one. I'd appreciate you getting this information out there. As always, our goal here is to make sure that you have the information you need to keep yourself out of trouble before you find yourself in trouble. Thanks for sticking around with me today. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care and be safe.